Northern Hill Carnival 2014, we tell them straight. Borough kids, we shining like a piece of gold with diamonds in it. When it hit the light, when I take a sip on something cool, it help me free me mind. Candy mass we sip and it make we feel wonderful. It's a blessing sent to me. I feel incredible. Taste buds I say make me feel wonderful, and nothing stopping
Hi, this
me.
is Timeless Love, and I have just ambushed Lyrikal in Harlow, Essex, and he didn't know we were coming, but we had to come and literally speak to the man himself. Lyrikal, welcome, big up. How are you?
I'm good. Shake a hand.
Shake a hand.
Okay, the two.
The French way,
yeah,
boy.
French
Okay. So how are you? How's it been?
It's been great. Just been soaking up all the love, from all the fans across the world. Coming out from Trinidad Carnival, it was a hectic season, very intense. But like I say, it's work and we had to fly the flag and we had to represent the soca to the world.
Okay.
So no complaints.
No complaints. Cool. So to the massive that don't know you out there, who is Lyrikal in a nutshell?
Lyrikal is just a very humble, cool, laid back type of dude. Outside of the music, when they see me on stage, very energetic, and aggressive.
Right.
But outside of the music, I just school, I like to watch sports. I into sports a lot, Discovery Channel, and so just a cool collective guy, but have a great passion for music.
Right.
So,
Okay. Well, come to the sports, and since it's here in New York, I'll be quite keen and interested to find out what's your favourite sport. So, I know you are obviously a soca artist, but at the same time you're a songwriter, you're a wordsmith. As a wordsmith, I actually, I had to talk to you and see what words you're going to throw out there for me.
Right.
But let's go back kind of into time and say, where did you realise you had a passion for songwriting? When did it begin?
From small,
Okay.
from when I started school at an early age, let's say around 9 years old. I didn't start at 9,
Okay.
but around 9 I realized like I had a skill for writing essays, compositions and poems and stuff.
And
like
before that, let me stop you. Did you used to love reading, or was it just a natural thing that
It
you
was-
just realised that you know what?
Yeah, it was just a natural thing.
Okay.
It was just a natural thing. I'm a very attentive person, so I just pay attention a lot. So not necessarily reading. I read,
Right.
but I'm not a bookworm or anything like that. But I read but I just had a natural talent from God for using words.
Okay.
And that blend into the name Lyrikal and stuff. I use big words and always had I like the dictionary a lot.
Of course.
So I always hear a big word, want to use it, and then go and see the definition of it, and then use it in the right context. You know what I mean? So I always had that.
Okay.
Right, yeah.
So when we're talking about your youngsters, so what were your favourite subjects at school then, just out of interest?
English. I write English and social studies.
Okay.
Yeah, I was actually really good in social studies for some weird reason because I'm not really into history that much. But it was just like easy for me to pick up. You know what I'm saying? I guess names and stuff like that. Names and dates was something like I'm good with.
Okay.
So social studies obviously is history.
Yeah.
So names and dates, but English, like I say, essays, writing and words and stuff like that.
Well,
So definitely.
I'm picking up for that, like for like. So we're just gonna move on and just kind of talk about the music, where you started with the music. So I know probably soca wasn't something that, because you're Trinity born, but New York based.
Mhm.
So when did you actually realise that, I want to go into kind of the soca? What were you
Soca
doing
vibe.
before you went into soca? So I
Well-
think there was a bit of element of reggae.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I grew up in the era in Trinidad that they call the maxi taxi era,
Right.
where you go to school in the taxi or the maxi with the loudest sounding music. We call it the hard pound.
Yeah, I know what it was, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So reggae was very influential around that time, especially when I was going to school. Early days of Butcher Bantan and Dudes Man and Potty Rants and all that. So that was that what influenced me having a passion for music from church.
Okay.
Every day hearing reggae music and going to school, and that's the in thing. That was the in thing at that time. So I started off singing and chanting and learning other people's songs and singing it in school. And when I migrated to the States, I had this competition called New York City Music Fest,
Right.
and it didn't have a genre in soca. So the closest genre was reggae.
Okay.
So I started to do a demo. Demo was required for it. And while doing the demo, I met this guy named Murphy, DJ Murphy, originally from Tobago. He lived in Brooklyn. And he said, "You ever try soca?" I said, "Yeah, like from Trinidad, I love soca, you know." And he said, "Well, you know, I have a soca beat." And the name of the rhythm was the Magnum PI rhythm,
Okay.
which came out to be myself, Patch, I think Doggy Slaughter, I think Carrie Kill was on it. And you know, from there on, it was like people just started, you know, connect my voice with the soca, and they started like it, you know, and little requests around Brooklyn and stuff like that. And from there, I met Mastermind in 2005, if I'm not mistaken, and we did the Potter Gold rhythm with Bungie and Fayan and Benjai and all these guys had the big songs in Trinidad, but I wasn't on the rhythm at that point.
Okay.
When he came up to New York, I got on the rhythm with a song called Morgia, and it started to stir a buzz around New York. And from there, everything else is history. The reggae came back intertwined a little bit with the reggae all stars, King David and I, Sasha and Million Voice, Mr. King, Shabami, the whole 9 yards. And from there, all over the girl, Ramaji, 25 feet, come.
Yeah, rest is history, true. So I know I'm going to digress a little bit because I know it's about soca we're talking here, but I'm quite intrigued because I know when you were a bit young, you opened up for Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
Now,
you did good research, right?
No, I'm a hip hop fan as well.
Me too.
Are you?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm a very huge hip hop fan actually. A lot of people don't know that.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, my best friend now.
Hip-hop fan. You know, hip hop is the most metaphorical genre of music.
It is.
You know, when they use, you know, all the metaphors like, you know, the Lil Wayne's and the Fabulous and all these, yeah.
So for the viewers looking up there, I'm going to digress. You're going to have to bear with me. This is my passion, hip hop and soca, and we have to speak a little bit. 2 minutes. You know, New York. We have to represent.
Yeah.
So what would you say from an old school perspective is kind of like a person that probably influenced you? I know people like Shabba, Bob Marley influenced you, but would you say there was any other rapper or hip hop artist that influenced you?
I like KRS-One.
Wow.
Yeah, KRS-One bad, you know what I mean? he you know, he was good at words, you know, and all them, you know, stuff like that. He was aggressive. He wasn't afraid to take no challenges, you know what I'm saying? When he, I forget the rapper he battled from Queens when he said the bridge is over, and I forget the name of the guy, but he was just like taking it to, he used to take it to them, you know, in a very aggressive way. He was cocky with it. You know, I'm not a cocky person.
Yeah.
I'm very calm, but his wording and his aggression and his flow and everything, I really admire KRS-One. Yeah.
Cool.
So respect to KRS-One if you ever see it.
So we're going to move on and talk about the scene in New York. So how was the soca scene in New York?
The soca scene in New York currently is building. You know, New York for a while, it was a market. It always had a big market for soca in New York, you know, especially Brooklyn. Brooklyn always been a big market for soca. The artists now, you know, excuse me, the doors open up more, especially in Trinidad now. Excuse me again. You know, with marketing and presenting the talents from New York to Trinidad. I think before, a lot of people used to talk about the fight down, and you know, they don't get Brooklyn artists, no, but I never really consider myself as a Brooklyn artist. I just consider myself as an artist.
Right.
You know, but for all the artists, you know, based in New York, I think right now everybody kind of like, you know, coming out in a nutshell and going out and doing the thing and creating their own vibe and a name for themselves, you know, like Yankee and Young Voice and Razor, Leons, you know, then we had the Attic family, Ronnie, Noe, Future, and, you know, the whole 9 yards. Like I say, some things in life just take time, but everything is good and everything is bubbling nice, and like I say, everybody doing the thing and keep on doing it, you know what I'm saying?
So when we're talking as a New Yorker, and obviously you are Trini, do you sometimes find it hard as a foreign-based artist to be taken seriously in Trinidad around the carnival, around the season, or is it just, you know what, do you just feel like you're just back home, you're just one of them?
Yeah, I just feel like I'm back home, because I am one of them.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like I say, I don't take on the fight down.
Right.
The fight down is nothing to me. Life is fight down, you know what I'm saying? And I don't really like to use the word fight down. In life is challenges.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And nothing come easy is good. You know what I'm saying? It's like fast food. That is not the best food. You know what I'm saying? Home cooked food, it take a little more time. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, you know, I never watch it like as, you know, we don't get no respect or anything. You just have to go out and earn your respect. If you live in New York and people in Trinidad don't know about you and you're promoting songs and stuff like that in New York, then you need to go Trinidad and go on the ground, go on the radio, go on all the TV stations and present yourself and make yourself heard and seen. You have to do that. That is your duty. That is your job. You know what I'm saying? So nothing ain't coming easy like you just sit back in New York and say, hey, they ain't give me no love. Nah, you gotta go out and do your thing. So like I say, I went out and do my thing, and like I say, the artists now, we all going down and going on the radios and everything and the TV stations and the shows and, you know, and doing what we have to do, you know, for the quality and the soca music. You know?
Okay. So how was it performing at the
yeah. Oh, that was
Was it the first time?
First time,
Yeah.
First time in the finals.
First time in the finals.
You know, that was like my fourth time in the semi-finals. It was a unbelievable feeling. It was like let me tell you, Soca Monarch is the biggest stage. No, it's not just I'm not just talking about the numbers that's in front of you, but in a worldwide scale. You know, everybody's locked in from the world who is not there. You know, people in Sweden, Germany, I guess it, you know, wherever country it aired from, that is the people and them that, you know, watching in and looking into the Soca on Fantastic Friday, have a name, you know, that stand out in the carnival. And like I said, it was an unbelievable feeling. You know, I was very anxious. You know what I mean? For that 8 minutes is like, you know, you want to be your best for that 8 minutes. You know what I'm saying? You know, they say 5 minutes of fame, you want that 8 minutes of fame. And it's not just fame, it's just to go and present your song to the world and they could see, hey, you know, I'm here and I'm here to stay. I'm built for this, you know, and show that passion of and represent equality and the music, like I say, to the world. You know, so it was an unbelievable feeling, you know what I mean? So definitely I will, you know, give it an next try again next year, please God.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask you about your twin brother in Soca. So which one is the oldest? So we're going to have a joke with that one. But how do you feel when people opposite confuse you and Skinny?
I mean, we do look alike. Like especially like when we have only this snapback hat, you know what I'm saying? And we have a similar look. I ain't saying no. But, you know, it had an issue with that magazine. I don't want to call out the magazine name. But to me it was funny at first. And then, you know, it became an issue.
Right.
Because now, you know, it had one time, I forget, I think it was like 2 weeks ago. I think I was in Miami or Tampa or something like that, and a guy from, I think, some other country, I guess where Skinny went, he said, you know, good show and good performance. He was telling me, and I was baffled a little bit. I was like, I didn't go there yet. You know what I'm saying? And then like, yeah, but and then he came back with his friend, and like, Skinny, you know what I'm saying? Like, Skinny, and I'm saying, he's lyrical. I know Skinny, but like I say, you know, much love to Skinny. That's my brother. You know what I mean? I going down for his concert in June, so hopefully the people and them don't think it's Skinny.
So do you want to say anything out there to some viewers and say you is lyrical?
Yeah, I'm lyrical, you know what I'm saying, and I don't know how to say it, but I'm lyrical. I guess my beard a little more, I'm growing my beard a little bit more.
You can say which one is longer one, longer look?
Yeah. I have longer hair, right? I have longer hair.
So that's how you can tell them about people next time, yeah? It's lyrical, not Skinny.
Or you can watch your chains, you go, I don't know, what's something, just take a good look on. What's something? I don't know.
We're going to move. So, is there any advice that you give out to, because obviously you're in London, I'm sure, I know you've met artists like Trini Boy Juicy.
Yeah, I'm a brethren.
And is there any other advice that you would give to other up-and-coming artists or people that are already in the scene or trying to make it?
Definitely, well, for me personally, I don't like to put it out there for everyone. Right? I believe in God, and I believe in prayers, and, you know, you pray until something happens, and work hard. You know, you stay at it, practice your craft, and have confidence and believe in yourself. Now, you can't expect everybody else to believe in you if you don't believe in yourself, because if you don't go and prove yourself to the world, nobody else can go take it serious. So, practice your craft. If you believe in God, have faith, work hard, confidence. And that's it. Hard work pays off.
Yeah. And what does I know the season, we're still in the season here, but the season's already done, like Trinidad. So what does the rest of 2014 look like for you, and what can we expect from the future?
Touring every week.
Okay. Okay.
You know, like every week until about maybe November. You know?
Right. Is that out any places?
That is like every carnival. That is well here.
Oh, so you're coming back from Notting Hill?
We have Notting Hill,
Okay.
Caribana, Crapova, St. Vincent, Labor Day, Miami Carnival, Grenada Carnival. We're going all over. We're going Atlanta. We're going Washington. We're going Hollywood Carnival.
Oh gosh.
We're going Houston Carnival. We're going every city, every carnival. We come in there. Not skinny, but skinny too.
So, as a wordsmith, I'm going to put you to a challenge. We're going to wrap it up, and I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, and you're going to have to describe it in 3 words.
Okay, 3 words.
Right. So the first one is your Trinidad 2014 experience. In 3 words, how would you describe it?
Phenomenal, fantastic. Phenomenal, fantastic.
We got 2.
Experience. Yeah.
That's not a word. I know it's a word. Phenomenal.
Nah,
but you're rounding
you
it up.
you see, you know, when I say experience, I don't want to say first experience.
Okay.
I want to say the main experience and the highlighted experience for Lyrikal as an artist and my career.
Okay.
When I say experience, people might say, well, you know, guys, not your first, I ain't first song, but it's an experience of a lifetime. I never experienced doing 109 shows or 11 shows in one night. You know what I mean? So, you know, if you want to take back all the experience, we say fantastic, phenomenal, unbelievable.
Okay, that will work. That will work. All right. And then your collaboration with Care when lockdown. 3
History.
words.
History. Classical. History, classical. I mean, I want to use the right words. History, classical, unbelievable again.
We'll work with that one. 3 things we don't know about you.
Slightly shy. Slightly shy.
You shy?
Yeah. A lot of people don't know that. But you see now, I'm not shy with music.
Right.
You know, music, I'm very, very brave with music. You know, but on a regular, I don't like too much attention.
Okay.
You know, I don't like too much pictures and camera and all them thing like on and off day. But I'm used to it now.
Right.
You know, I don't run from it. But you know, besides the music, I probably wouldn't even have Instagram or Facebook. You know what I mean? 3 things shy. Well, I surely know I love music.
Okay, you can put your sports one because you mentioned sports.
Yeah, I think I was gonna get to that one. Yeah, very, very deep into sports. And it's like I don't want to say. Oh, I'll say, boy. I'm very handy around the house.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can fix up and
fix up, cook, clean, wash, everything.
Oh gosh, you married then, Phil?
No, I live alone.
You live alone?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll talk after. I'm joking. So
Yeah.
I know you've been in the London scene since Friday. You touched down on Friday, and
Yeah.
I know you've been around already. You hit a couple of fits.
Right.
3 words to describe the London scene or this weekend. Or just in general, because 2 years ago you were here, so yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I could describe it in just 3 words. The London scene is alright, I'll describe it in like a small paragraph, right?
Okay.
Now it have certain songs like in Trinidad, has big songs and certain places, and you know the 2 parties I went to, you know, they have a very wide variety of songs that is very popular here and they respond to here. You know, even songs that song I never hear before, you know, soca songs, and you know, it was playing in the band launch last night, and the people like know every single word and understand up, and you know, so very, very acceptive, you know, appreciative, and you know, and a great love for soca.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll stop you there. So just one last thing actually, because I wanted to find out what inspires you to write. What inspires you to write that, to come up with an idea? So I'll think something like, obviously 25/8.
25.
The fact that you thought of that concept, which doesn't obviously exist. But what inspires you to think of obviously a title or to think of the words in terms of what, even if it's you're writing for yourself or for anybody else?
You know the craziest thing, because 25-8 was born in London.
Okay.
Yeah.
So inspired by London.
Yeah. No, well. Wait. I know. Not inspired by London.
Okay, London
but
aided.
Right. Yes, it did.
Okay.
So I was looking at the whole scene in Trinidad 2 years ago, before 25-8, and you know, you have your cousins, your family, your sisters, brothers, whoever is there, and around carnival time, it's fete after fete after fete. And they will party in the night, go to work in the morning, lime in the evening, party night again, go to work in the morning, lime in the evening, and they will never stop. And I asked my cousin, I said one time, I said, you don't get tired? You know what I mean? Because I fed in the night, and when he get up, I still sleeping. And when he come home for lunch, I probably might be still sleeping still. And I said, but all the men really don't get tired, and is I drink in the night. Get up in the morning, I drink lunchtime. Come home in the evening, I drink in the evening, and so on and so forth, all day, all night. And I was coming on the plane here, and I had a drum pattern from Selector KG. And the drum pattern was do-dum, 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 do-dum. And I didn't had no words for it, I was just, vibes in it. And when I came here, I did an interview, and the lady said, you guys in Trinidad party hard, you go hard. And I say, yeah, we don't party 24/7, we party 25/8. Just on the top of my head. It just come out on the top of my head. It was nothing premeditated. I just say that, and boom, and then that term just stick in my head. And when I was going back home on the plane now, I started playing with the 25/8, because I was looking at the interview and stuff like that on the plane, and I said 25/8, this party Canada. And just the word just came up, and like I say, we went back to the States. When my mastermind, he created, basically the track, for the song, and we was just vibes in the studio, and I just started playing with the words, and I come up. I like to create, like, in studio where the energy is there, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes I home, not a straight from the topic, but sometimes I home, and, I might just be in a vibe of, I might get a 2-line, I might get a 5-line in my head. Quite I don't write on paper, I write in my head.
So you don't forget?
No, I don't forget.
So if you got 10 lines, you don't forget the 10 lines? I don't forget.
I'll just practice it over and over in my head.
Very
because it's like, what's your right?
No, it's amazing. I know you mentioned it, that you were good with words, that remembering, but it's amazing,
Yeah, because it's like, if how would you know a song, how would you remember a song from, let's say, Lil Wayne, if you didn't write it? Because you hear it over and over.
Over and over again, singing it,
Alright. So, what I do now is practice that line over and over and over, like I hear it over and over and over. And the more you practice, you remember 2 lines, you remember 3 lines, you remember 4 lines, and then that 4 line will be in your head. And then later on, you're going to know that 4 line on the back of your head, you know what I'm saying? And then you go, remember the next 4 line. And then after that 4 line might be a repeat line, because it might be the chorus, and then the verse might be 8 bars. It might be an easy flow. Again, at the end of the day, your brain is a muscle.
Right.
So, you have to train your brain. If you go in the gym and you lift weights, you'll get strong. So if you train your brain to,
Listen to that, people. Take notes. So I'm going to give you the last challenge. It has been a pleasure meeting, obviously interviewing you. And obviously you're in London for the band launch. But I want you to throw down that lockdown remix. And in this remix, it's going to include the words taste buds.
Taste buds.
Right?
Yeah.
Barracudas. Candy Mass.
Yeah.
What else? Notting Hill Carnival 2014. So we're gonna keep it at least 4. So Taste Buds, Barracudas.
Yeah.
Candy Mass. Notting Hill Carnival.
Taste Buds is what? The guys are band?
No. Taste Buds is affiliated with Barracudas.
Oh, okay. I'm not too familiar.
They're food, So it's their food part of it. And Phil, because Phil was kind of a reoccurring word in lockdown.
Right. Phil. Taste Buds, Barracudas, Candy Mass. And what else?
Hang on. So Taste Buds, Barracudas, Candy Mass, Notting Hill Carnival, and Phil. So we're probably going to run it to, not to lock down the song, but probably we're going to drop an instrumental, 25/8. So you're going to ride on top of 25/8 as opposed to lockdown, but it's a lockdown remix.
So you say now, let me see. 2014 at Lil Carnival, Candy Mass, Barracudas on the road. Tell them, Barracudas on the road, Candy Mass on the road. You see them gal overload. Tell them, all we need is one extra hour and one extra day. Hey, Candy Mass we playing the 25-8. It's Borough Kids we playing till a man. Hey, Candy Mass could never done, no. We playing from the night until the sun come down. Borough Kids ain't stopping until the liquor done. Now we playing 25-8. Not Nil Carnival 2014. We drunk and wet inside a fete. All on the road, Candy Mass we out of breath. Police swallow lock we up. They say we causing a threat. We pumping 25-8. Borough Kids we ain't tired yet. When we drinking, hey, we don't care about nobody. Once the music the inside of we. 2014 Nothing Hill Carnival. Borough Kids we done ready. And you know we playing is a job. Grenada yeah we playing a job. In Candy Mass 2014 everybody know we sit.
What?
I think the rhythm kind of skip a little bit, but it's all good. So nobody tell we about time, and no come and try spoil the line. In Borough Kids them y'all looking fine. Borough Kids could never done, no. You don't have to make all the rhythm run, no. Do it a cappella, doing it for fun, no. We going 25-8. Borough Kids Candy Mass 2014 up Nil Carnival. Everybody drunk and wet. Inside a fete. All on the road. Hey. So we out of breath. Police they will lock we up. They say we causing a threat. Candy Mass Borough Kids 2014 up Nil Carnival, but we sweat.
Well, Lyrikal, it's a blessing. Thank you very much. Any last shouts out there?
Wanna thank you and my brother Jenny cameraman for bomb rushing you. You know, big up all the fans, all the supporters, you know, all the DJs around the world, all the promoters. Like I say, we flying the flag, not just Trinidad and Tobago, but you know, the whole Caribbean, to the whole soca music. We say 200%, never stopping. I wanna say much respect to I'm not sure who had affiliations with the soca becoming a genre on iTunes right now. You know, soca is actually a genre on iTunes right now. So much respect to everybody who support the movement of soca music, and like we say, soca to the world, all love. Thank God for life, health, strength, wisdom, knowledge, opportunity. You don't know, mother, father, my whole family. Yeah, hey, it's part of your needs, yeah. So rule it. To get on with no behavior. Rule it. I was going to give you a little
You can give you a taste. You can't just leave us just so.
We say one life, one love. Thank God for blessing we. Cause every year we doing it. Say non-stop, we partying. So when you see them hands come up and people rocking and they singing along, hey, I like to see them when they
we just give it a taster. Sorry, people. We're just giving you a taster. If you want to find that, if you want to follow Lyrikal, he's on Facebook, Twitter.
Yeah, www.facebook.com/Lyrikal. Instagram, I am Lyrikalist, IAMLYRIKALACE. Lyrikalist on Instagram, Twitter @Lyrikalist, LYRIKALACE. Don't know, much love, much thanks for all the fans, all the supporters again. Love you.